How many lives can we save before we start work? So in the time it's taken me to get out of bed and to the studio to shoot this, guys, we could have saved 182 lives from across the likes of the South Sudan, Kenya, Ethiopia and Somalia. So please donate to the DEC's worthwhile cause.
Yes, text the number on screen to automatically donate £5 to the appeal and use the hashtag FightFamine on Twitter, Facebook and in the comments below to raise awareness of this issue.
Let's jump into the football now, Pato, where our first victors of the weekend are AC Milan, who beat Genoa 1-0.
Yeah, we could have gone for Napoli or Roma, but we haven't really discussed the Rossoneri this season. And this 1-0 win at Genoa takes them up to 7th on 53 points, which will also help them as Inter drew at Torino this weekend. So they've grabbed 2 points back from the Nerazzurri. Now, the goal in this game came from Chilean midfielder Matias Fernandez, who'd actually only played 93 minutes of football this season before this game. But he was great here. 4 shots in a mostly one-sided affair. Milan had 20 to Genoa's 8. Now, Montella's team, they're not particularly prolific in front of goal this season. They've only managed 1.4 goals a game. Compare that to Inter's 2 and Roma's 2.2. And you see that they're struggling to get the ball in the back of the net. But super sub Lapadula, he is not having any trouble at all. He set up the goal in this match. He's played 700 minutes this season, and he's got 5 goals and 2 assists. Pretty impressive stats from the Italian.
It sounds like a border collie, Lapadula. Sounds like a Spanish name for a dog. Anyway. Yeah, and it was another 2 loanees who starred for Montella in that 4-3-3 system, with both wide men Deulofeu and Ocampos putting up strong numbers this game, Pato. Between the two 22-year-olds, mouthful, they had 9 shots, completed 9 dribbles and 4 key passes. That's obviously passes which lead to shots. Ocampos actually played for Genoa during the first half of this season, and Milan obviously saw enough of him to steal him away from Marseille on loan. How is he not getting a game at Marseille? Isn't Bafétimbi Gomez the captain of Marseille? Anyway, that sidetracked me a little bit. But yes, so you'd think Mandolini's men would be more well equipped to handle him down that right-hand side, but he absolutely terrorised left-back Lagzé, as did Deulofeu to his respective fullback as well. The Spaniard actually he's managing 2 passes into the box at the moment per match, 3 touches in the opposition's box, and he's dispossessed less than 1.5 times a game. These are very mature numbers, aren't they, for someone who's not played for the first half of this season, and he's still a young man. So life is good for Deulofeu in the north of Italy. But AC fans, with your star players at the moment holding up that 4-3-3, who do you need to sign in the summer to reassert yourselves at the top of Italian football? Let us know in the comments below.
Our first losers of the weekend are Sevilla. Now, they exited the Champions League 2-0 away at Leicester in midweek. Plastic Leicester fan, never thought I'd hear that phrase. But then they lost 3-1 away at Atletico Madrid at the weekend to cap off a horrible week for Sampaoli's men. Now, they could have some complaints about the Leicester game, though they were comprehensively outplayed. Samir Nasri got a pretty dodgy red card after he was heavily provoked by Jamie Vardy. But over the 2 games, they had just 5 shots on target while conceding 12. This is not good numbers, and that's been a trend recently. In March, Sampaoli's men have managed just 2.8 shots on target each game. That's extremely low, isn't it, Chris?
Yes, that is shocking, pal, considering the attacking talent they possess in that team. It's actually lower than Sporting Gijón, mate, on 3.1 shots on target per game. They're the bottom of La Liga in that regard. Pretty poor from Sampaoli's men. They're now only 2 points ahead of Atleti with 10 games left. Simeone is reeling them in. I've got money on Atleti finishing above Sevilla, pal. What do you think?
Well, I drew Atleti out of the hat to win the Champions League, so
we'll see. Vested interest for us both. And while Sevilla have gone 3 league matches without a win, Simeone's men That's 3 on the bounce for them now. And Antoine Griezmann is in excellent form, netting a goal. Is a fantastic free kick.
It's unbelievable.
Always more dramatic when it comes in off the crossbar, isn't it? Absolutely tantalising. And he got an assist in this game as well. But there was some good news for Sevilla fans, as Jorge Sampaoli told the press Barcelona have not contacted him about the managerial position. So it looks like he's staying there and fulfilling his contract.
Well, let's hope so. Sevilla are still in third place, but can they stay there? Let us know in the comments below.
Over to the Bundesliga now, Pato, for our next victors. And it is Bayern München who defeated Gladbach 1-0, yeah? Over to you.
That's absolutely horrible. But yes, this might be the week that Bayern Munich won another league title. They've gone 13 points clear at the top of the table after a 1-0 win. But it actually wasn't that much of a walkover. Bayern conceded 14 shots. Normally they concede only 8 a game, though they did have a very healthy 18 of their own. Now, Thomas Muller netted in this match. That's only his second in 19 starts. But he was playing in his favoured role as that kind of second striker behind Lewandowski. In fact, we've seen that shift to that formation to accommodate him there over the second half of the season. Before Christmas, we were saying Ancelotti's still figuring it out. His team aren't quite working in this 4-3-3. And now they seem to have done it. 13 times they played in the 4-3-3 before Christmas. Now 11 times they've played in the 4-2-3-1, including more recently against Frankfurt, against Hamburg, and of course against Arsenal, with pretty good effect.
Emphatic effect.
So it looks like they are going to win the league yet again. What a surprise.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting move from Ancelotti because he's had that 4-3-3 in place wherever he's gone, and obviously to a great deal of success. But I think part of reverting back to that 4-2-3-1 that Pep seemed to favour in his last year at Bayern, I know he tried a hell of a lot of formations, is maybe getting the best out of Thiago Alcantara as well. Now, as you say, it enables Muller to play in that Ramsdorff position, but with Alcantara in that 4-2-3-1, he has Vidal or Alonso protecting him, doesn't he? And it gives him a little more licence to roam forward and sort of join the midfield to the attack. And in this game, he did it to decisive effect. He got an assist, he had the most possession in the game with 10.1%, and he completed a match-high 116 passes. He was fucking everywhere. But yeah, Ian Robin also played pretty well, mate. You know, your Dutch pals. Your clog-wearing fiends. But yeah, he also hit the crossbar. That was probably Bayern's next best chance. And he completed 5 dribbles as well before being subbed in the 84th minute, where he absolutely threw his toys out of the pram. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I mean, the video is hilarious. We might roll it now. We might roll it now. We might not. But anyway, coming back in off that. Yeah, Ribery and Rafinha absolutely pissing themselves, weren't they? So another Bundesliga in the bag for Bayern Munich. Will the Bundesliga ever be interesting again? Let us know in the comments below.
From a team that have figured it out after Christmas to a team that have really struggled since the winter break, it's RB Leipzig. They lost 3-0 away at Werder Bremen. They're now 13 points behind Bayern Munich, as we said. They're just 3 above Dortmund, and they've taken 1 point from their last 3 games. Now, this game against Werder Bremen was actually a pretty low event. There were very few shots altogether, just 16 shots across the two sides. But Bremen had 4 on target to Leipzig's 2, so they pretty much had the better chances. Now, interestingly, in this game, Werder had 3 different scorers who were all Austrian. That's actually the first time that's happened in the Bundesliga, strangely enough. But the real question is here, what has happened to RB Leipzig? Since the turn of the year, they got 4 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. They've taken 1.44 points per game. Now, that's not an awful lot. Over the course of a season, that would actually only bring them 49 points, which last season would have got you 8th in the league. So something is going seriously wrong.
I know, what is it? Because before January, they were taking 2.25 points per game. And actually, following the new year, they've conceded 1.44 goals per game, having only conceded 0.94 before. So all the maths is pointing directly down the shitter. They've also scored 1.33 goals per game in 2017. That's less than Tony Pulis's free-scoring West Brom. Alarming news. But one clear absence in this game was Naby Keita. Leipzig's squad isn't that deep, especially to cover someone with his amazing skill set. I mean, the guy can literally do everything in midfield. When you look at the likes of Bayern and Dortmund, they've got very healthy benches, and this kind of fall off was expected, but not to this degree, maybe not quite as early. They're heavily reliant on Timo Werner, who's been great. He has 14 goals this season, but Lewandowski and Aubameyang are hitting 20 now. So they're starting to pull away from Leipzig's top goal scorer. And with Keita linked to Arsenal, will he go there without Champions League football? Embarrassing, embarrassing. And Werner linked with Liverpool. Can they hold this squad together going into the next season?
Well, it
will they become a
has-been, doesn't it? A has-been. They've only just started, mate.
Not even a bean. On to our final winners. It is Barcelona who beat Valencia 4-2 at the Camp Nou to get over that shocker they had against Deportivo La Coruña last week. And it's pure domination stat-wise, Pato, but in reality, this game was much closer than Enrique probably would have liked. Barca created 28 chances to Valencia's 6 and also had 72% possession, and they hit the crossbar twice. So from the outside looking in, this looks like another case of Barca destroying their La Liga rivals. But it wasn't so. You're going to touch upon that later. But guess who spearheaded the victory? The one and only Lionel Messi, without any blonde in his hair, completed his 100th brace for the club. That is absolutely mental. And he's now scored 40 plus goals across all competitions in the last 8 consecutive seasons, the only player ever to do so. He also completed 8 dribbles in this game, and he continued his 100% penalty record against Diego Alves, who can only save penalties. I think he saved half of Ronaldo's, hasn't he? That he's faced. So a good day's work for the Argentinian.
And it was a great day for Neymar as well, who got his 9th and 10th assist of the season. He's now the joint top provider in the league, along with Toni Kroos. And Luis Suarez, 22nd goal in 25 starts. What a man.
Fire.
But that said, Valencia did make it difficult for them in the first half. They went 1-0 up thanks to an incredible header from Eliakim Mongala. But he was sent off later on, 2 yellow cards, and gave away a penalty in the space of 15 minutes. Not ideal. Now, Munir pulled one back, but they just couldn't hold on in the end. Andre Gomez made the points very safe at the end of the game. Now, it was an interesting game to look at people like Gaia, who has been linked with Barcelona in the summer, the little left back, after a horrible debut campaign for Luca Dean. But I think the 3-4-3 at Barcelona kind of gave opportunities on the counter. You know, they had Iniesta in that wide left role, and as brilliant a talent as he is, and what a wonderful career he's had, he's not as mobile as he once was. He's not going to track back hugely in the left.
It's not Chelsea's 3-4-3, is it?
No.
These aren't wing-backs.
And there you've got an incredibly beefy defensive midfield as well, whereas that's not really something they can do here. But 43% of the game was spent in Valencia's final third. So Barcelona did what they want to do. They want to push up high, they want to hold possession, and they want to gradually pick you apart, and that's exactly what they did. They're still 2 points behind Real Madrid, and Los Blancos have played 1 game less. So it's going to be an uphill struggle if they want to take home the title. But they're not out of it just yet. And of course, they're still in the Champions League. But what will Barca do this season? What will they finish with? Will they finish with 1 trophy, 2 trophies, or 3 trophies? Because of course, they're in the final of the Copa del Rey. Let us know in the poll right up there.
Mesca and Club.
Our last losers, Porto, the Portuguese league. Wishes do come true. Chris, tell me about Porto.
Liga NOS.
Don't say NOS.
Porto did not get noshed off in this game. They ended up drawing 1-1 with Vitoria, Pato. What a game it was as well. They had 23 shots to Vitoria's 4. How this is finished 1-1, I'm not sure. They also had 68% possession. And as a team, they completed 12 dribbles and 25 aerial duels. Yes, we are just throwing numbers at you without any context because Zach wrote this section
we let
of
Zach
the
write
script.
The script.
Yes, I'm calling him out to embarrass him. It is the only way he's going to improve. They're also dispossessed 24 times, apparently. So whilst they completed a lot of dribbles, they're also wasteful. Probably just taking the piss, that's why they were dispossessed. Corona got his 3rd goal in the league this season. Young Mexican prospect. And Porto also hit the woodwork with Andre Silva's effort, the usually prolific Andre Silva. Settable goalkeeper Bruno Varela was man of the match, mate. He saved 6 shots, as you'd expect, facing 23 of them. Porto are unfortunate, apparently. That's a bullet point down here after not only hitting the post, but having 2 shots cleared off the line. Should have won, didn't watch the highlights. Let Zach write the script. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Porto did dominate the stats here, and the thing is, normally we'd be saying they're really unlucky not to get the win in this situation. They were clearly on top. They did have shots cleared off the line. They hit the post. However, when you look at the table, we had to put them in our losers. They're second on 63 points. Benfica are top on 64 points. And Benfica drew this weekend as well.
Opportunity
so if Porto had won this match, they would have been favourites in the run-in.
That's crazy how they've clawed that many points back on Benfica. We were saying 4 or 5 weeks ago this Benfica's by a long shot.
Yeah, and they've really pulled away from Sporting CP as well, right?
Watch that much Portuguese
it's almost
football.
as if that, but obviously that's not true. We watch all the Portuguese games.
All of it.
But look, anyway, Sporting CP, they look set for third. They're now 9 points behind Porto, 8 points ahead of Braga. So they're in a pretty comfortable spot in that third place. And also we want to talk about Bas Dost. Like, Bas Dost, is he good? No. Is he an enjoyable player to watch? No. Should a better team buy him? No. However, he is absolutely banging them in for Sporting CP. He's played 23 games for them and he scored 24 goals.
He has the world's biggest mouth as well.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I know it clocks his mouth.
In the Liga Nosh.
Hang on, let me
Having
look.
a big mouth.
Let me look him up.
Having a big mouth is,
I know what he looks like, but he always has his mouth shut when I see him. Hang on. Put this on camera, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving this. Let it roll, mate.
Right, Bas.
Yeah, Bas Dost.
Bas Dost.
Honestly, he could swallow a basketball, that
Obviously turning off the office Wi-Fi because it's terrible. Oh my God. Whoa!
Look at the state of that, mate.
Jesus.
It's huge. Put
God.
it, smash zoom on it.
That's the kind of mouth you expect bees to fly out of, mate. Like Tony Pulis laughing after he's beaten Wenger. That's fucking horrifying.
Anyway,
like
yeah.
Portal to another dimension. Anyway, yeah, Bas Dost.
The black
White
hole.
man, scored loads of goals. Still shit. Sporting CP have scored 49 goals in the league this season, and Dost has nearly half of those. Now, Suarez is next best on 16, and Andre Silva is on 15, so you see how far ahead of the rest of the division he is. But Porto missed out on a chance to go up for the title. It looks like Benfica are still in the driving seat. But who's going to win? Let us know in the comments below.
So that was this week's Euro Roundup, guys. Have we missed anybody out? As always, let us know in the comments below. And thank you for your donations to the DEC's appeal. We know they'll be hugely, hugely appreciative. I mean, over 800,000 kids, mate, are at risk of starvation in that part of the world every single year. It's unacceptable in the modern era. Let's fix it together.
Yeah, please do text that number on screen to donate £5 automatically and use the hashtag FightFamine across your social media. And as ever, guys, thanks for watching and please do like and subscribe.